My name is Samantha.
And I'm Keith.
He's my husband. I am a Neurocritical Care Fellow. I'm a first year fellow, and I am also a cardiac arrest survivor. I had a cardiac arrest when I was first year neurology residency. It was just supposed to be a regular, cholecystectomy, but I had a PEA arrest, and to make things a little bit worse is that I also had cognitive motor dissociation. So I had some awareness during my code, but I just could not move or open my eyes or speak, of course. So this made things a little bit worse. When it happened, it was the height of COVID. It was 2020, December 2020. And, family members were not really allowed in the hospital. The time it was just maybe one person could visit you. So my husband, he was the one that was able to visit me. He was there with me through it all. Thankfully, I was one of the lucky ones that had a good outcome. I was able to go back to work 3 weeks later and, thankfully finish residency and now pursue my fellowship. But what we are here to tell you is truly the effect of, not just the event, the ICU stay, but also the disorder of consciousness, which really plays a big role on recovery. So when I first started, my recovery journey, I kept on having flashbacks of what I remembered from the code. I kept on remembering things that they would say to me because they were very kind. My team was amazing. They got me back, as quickly as possible. But they were, saying, "I'm so sorry, this is going to hurt," as they were placing an IJ, or as they placed chest tubes. So all of that I just kept on replaying in my head. And it made not only the day-to-day worse, but it also kind of prevented me from moving on as quickly as I wanted to. And so we started facing a lot of challenges during that time. I just had to go back to work to the same hospital where it happened and code my patients. Had flashbacks, of course, of what happened to me during those times. And I didn't know truly where to look for help. I wanted help from my husband that he was desperately trying to give me. But at the same time, we were just pretty lost. Nobody really warned us. We had a great team, but nobody really warned us, about what we should expect, or just even some guidance on what to do afterwards.
Yeah. And for me, I don't put the responsibility on the team that did the procedure. I want them to be as focused as they can be doing the job that they're meant there to do. I think that it's the post-care that the medical community can do a better job of using modern technologies and modern resources to connect people with other survivors and other people that are going through similar resources. We recently took a class for new parents because we're about to have our first kid. And it was a community of people all going through the same thing, asking the same questions. And a lot of the questions that other people had, Sam and I hadn't even thought of yet. And so when Sam and I dealt with, arguments on me not being able to provide the support, and I didn't have resources to reach out to. And when I was trying to get her to address it through counseling or to find resources that were available in the system that she was even a part of, that she didn't even know were aware, she went and had to go look up resources that were available to her that weren't made readily available or even noted as a resident in the program where she had the surgery. And so I would encourage the medical community to work with partners and work with the new technologies to provide these support groups and these areas where people who, whether it's their first time going through an event like this, or if they're, old hands and have lots of experience doing this kind of stuff, that they can help others going through that transitionary process. And I think that would help with the recovery and help with what's needed long term for people in this situation, while also allowing doctors to perform the procedures and give patient care and focus on that at the same time. So I think that would be a huge help to, not just people here, but people around the world.
Yeah. Something that we discussed was how the perspective that I had as the patient was very different from the one that he had as a co-survivor, right? And watching me just go day by day, struggling, truly. I mean, I think we did okay considering, but it was a roller coaster. My residency program was really great and provided free counseling, so that really helped. But, it really made me think of what we are doing and what we are not doing for our patients. We have patients that are in the ICU for prolonged periods of time, whether they have had like cognitive motor dissociation, they have been comatose, or just, the effects of sedation. But the result is the same. There's a chunk of time that they do not remember. They don't know what happened. And imagine not knowing what happened, right, during even a few days of your life, and trying to think about it and wonder, could something have been done differently? Did I miss something important? This really messes with you. It makes you insecure. It worries you that your body, or in this case your brain, will fail you again and you will not remember specific periods of time. And so it's really hard. It's really hard to go through. I think that all of us, are trying our best to really make sure that the ICU patients, that patients that have disorders of consciousness, really have a better journey than those before us. But one thing to keep in mind is that the support that they need is not just right in ICU, or once they get transferred to the floor, or even right after discharge. It really is a long process. It has been almost 5 years for us now. It's been almost 5 years. And again, thankfully, we're doing great considering everything. But, there will still be some times, especially after a 28-hour call, when I have a hard time remembering certain things, or I might slur my words. So I need to be even more aware of my enunciation so that people don't wonder why, right? Like, this person that is still working is slurring her words. So those little things, they did not used to happen. They started happening after my cardiac arrest. And, maybe some memory issues. Sometimes, more than memory, like my husband says, is like distractibility. I can become very distracted very easily. And so if I am not focused on one thing, I'll forget it.
Yeah.
I just will not remember whole conversations. He actually got a boat out of this. He says that we had a conversation about buying a boat. I don't remember it. Somehow he says I said yes, and we ended up with a boat.
There's video evidence.
There is.
So.
But that's the point, right? I mean, all of these things didn't just happen right away. It took years for them to happen, and then triggers that we started recognizing, and just time for us really to notice. And so it just takes extra effort and extra support from the team members as well to ensure that the patient, the family members, anybody that's affected, by that event, is aware of what can happen, and then be provided the resources as time goes on, because it's unfortunately not, as simple as a CPC score, which is what we use for like outcome in studies. It's not like, oh, you have a CPC score of 1, you are doing great. I wish it was as simple as that. So, yeah, we'll leave you guys with that. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you so much for listening. And experienced doctors, don't be afraid to reach out to new doctors. I guarantee you they're afraid to talk to you. So, maybe extend the olive branch and, enjoy your time.
Yes, and change the lives of those that you will be taking care of.
Thank you.